Good afternoon. I'm Ron Ratner with the Northeast Conference. We are back for our weekly Geico Google Hangout men's basketball edition. Today's Google Hangout brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes or more could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com. All right, I am so pumped to have today's guest on the show. He ranks in the top 10 in 5 different categories, including scoring and all 3 shooting categories. Here's the fun part. He's just a freshman. I'd like to welcome 5-time NEC Rookie of the Week, Marcquise Reed of Robert Morris. Hey, Marquise, thanks for joining us.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. All right, so I just announced you as a 5-time Rookie of the Week. Now, 3 months ago, could you have even pictured this? Is this hard for you to comprehend?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen this soon. My success, I didn't think it was going to happen as a freshman. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, but I guess I'm just adjusting to the game quicker than I thought.
So at this point in the year, you've started 15 games. You've played a tough, Robert Morris always plays tough non-conference schedule. You've played against ACC teams, Big East teams, half the NEC games now. Do you still feel like a freshman?
No, I really, my team, they don't look at me as a freshman anymore, so I just got to step on the court every day knowing that I'm playing like as a sophomore now. So every year I got to get better.
A little trial by fire there. Just get out there and play, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about. I want to talk about your second college game. So you guys head into Chapel Hill to play UNC. That game you came off the bench. You scored 24 points in 24 minutes. I was watching this game at home, and my honest reaction was, "Who is this kid?" Well, this is your second game. I didn't even know who you were. So how does it feel to go into the Dean Dome, play such an iconic team, and then have people talking about your performance when the game's over?
Well, that was just like a 1 in a million chance you get to play there. So I just had to leave everything on the court. Like, I was real confident stepping on the court. So I want to have a good chance. I want to have a good game plan at the Dean Dome.
Do you feel comfortable going up against players of that caliber? Does it just feel natural to you?
Yeah, because I play against a lot of those guys in AAU, so it's just a rerun of AAU to me when I go against higher level schools.
So after that game ended and everybody who knew you went to Robert Morris, you graduated high school, was your phone and your Twitter feed just blowing up after that game?
Yeah, a lot of publicity after that, a lot.
And how is that something you enjoy?
Yeah, I try not to pay no mind, try to stay humble, but yeah, I like that type of stuff.
So when I read an article about you recently, and I'm going to read a quote. This is from you. When I first got here, it was a lot faster, so it was a lot more difficult for me to do than what I did in high school. Now it's just flowing into a natural thing. So my question to you is, when you were playing against North Carolina, did it feel like things were still moving 100 miles an hour, like you're running on adrenaline, or was it already starting to slow down for you after a month of practice?
Yeah, it started to slow down after practice. Like, as practice went on, I started to get in the flow of my own game from high school. So when I just came to North Carolina, everything just flowed together.
So you had some more big games after that against, you played Buffalo, Toledo, Delaware. You had 21 against Clemson. What is it about your game you think that allows you to have success against better teams like that?
I think my ability to get to the rack and still keep the defense honest, to be able to shoot threes, and I can pass too. So that's what other people don't realize. Like, I'm second on my team in assists. So
you take pride in that?
Yeah.
Do people just want to label you a shooter?
Yeah, as a scorer. I mean, I am a scorer, but I can facilitate too.
Every guy I talk to on one of these Google Hangouts always has something that they don't feel they get enough credit for. Some people think it's their shooting, some think it's their defense. For you, it's your passing ability, right?
Yeah.
All right. So when you signed with RMU, you said you wanted to. This is another article I read. You said you wanted to get stronger and a quicker release on your shot. Do you feel you've accomplished both?
Yeah, I gained about 14 pounds since I've been here, since I got here in May. And yeah, my release, it definitely got faster. I can get my shot off at any time.
So you talked about your ability to take the ball to the rack. When your ability to finish in traffic is pretty remarkable for somebody who's just a freshman. Has that always been part of your game growing up?
Yeah, getting to the rack, that's always been a major attribute to my game. And me, for me getting stronger, that just made it better for me to bounce off defenders when I go in the hole.
All right, so we talked about your driving. Let's talk about your shooting. So to me, everybody talks about the sign of a great shooter being the ability to go 50, 40, 90. 50% from the field, 40 from three-point range, 90% from the line. Your Kevin Durant, your Nowitzkis, your Larry Birds. So after 10 games of league play, I pulled your numbers. You're shooting almost 54% from the floor, 60% from three-point range, 90% from the line. Does that basket just look huge to you right now? Is it? You just seem locked in.
Yeah, like every shot I take, I focus hard and try to make it, because you don't get a lot of shots in college, so you got to make every shot count.
So when you're shooting like this and you're feeling it, is that something where you want that ball in your hands, especially in big situations?
Yeah, and my team allowed me a lot in late shot clock situations or late in the game, so that's part of my role.
So one of the shots you made this year that I thought was a great one was the three-pointer to send the Mount game into overtime. So setting the stage for people here. You came off a screen, and switching on to you is Christian Kreiner. He's 6'11". But you have no hesitation, and you just you splashed like a rainbow three right over him. Was that the biggest shot of your career?
Yeah, for right now, yeah. I think I can say that.
That's not usually a shot you see from a freshman. How does it feel knowing that Coach Toole has the confidence to put the ball in your hands in late game situations like that?
That's a real good feeling that your coach can rely on you, especially as a freshman, to take shots like that. So that's just a lot of trust from coach to player.
Tell me a little bit about Coach Toole. What was it about him that made you comfortable enough to sign with Robert Morris?
They stay involved with me in my high school career, like they've always been around. So I guess the loyalty they showed, and they showed me a nice visit, and then they said that they needed a scorer, and that's basically what I do. And then when I came on my visit, everything just set into play.
Once you arrived on campus and this season, what does he stress the most to you about your game, or just about being a freshman who's had some success?
He always tell me he always want me to stay engaged on the defensive end. He don't care what I do on offense, just make sure I lock up on defense.
I think he likes you when you make shots though too, right?
Yeah.
Coach Toole was a really good guard himself at Penn, Ivy League, or a smart player, very cerebral coach. How much have you learned about the game just listening to him during practices and games?
You learn a lot from him, coming from a Division I player himself. So he knows the game as much as any one of us. He played the game just like we did. So just having the experience and to take notes from a coach that played Division I basketball is a good thing.
Let's get a bit into your background. From Landover, Maryland, not too far outside of D.C. Was basketball always your favorite sport growing up?
Actually, it wasn't. It was football. I had to choose between the two when I got to high school. I stopped playing football when I got to high school, but I was a real good football player.
What position did you play?
Running back and safety.
Do you think you could have made it at the college level if you would have stuck with it?
Yeah, absolutely. I probably would have had to switch my position to like wide receiver or something because of my height. But yeah, football is way easier than basketball.
Why is that?
Because you only can get looked at for one side of the ball. Like you only got to play one side of the ball.
Okay, all right, that's good. When did you think you had a chance to be pretty good in basketball, though?
When I started growing, like my freshman year, I was like about 5'9", 5'10", and then sophomore year, I shot up to about 6'2", 6'3", and then that's when I just stuck with it, and I said I really got a shot.
Who was your basketball idol growing up as a kid?
I like my favorite players right now, John Wall and Derrick Rose. So them two I always looked up to.
What about when you were young, like little Marquis? Who was the guy?
Gilbert Arenas.
All right, you Wizards fan?
Yes, Wiz kids.
There you go. Well, it feels good now. It hasn't been such a great run for you as a Wizards fan, but maybe this year.
Yeah.
You averaged 31 points a game as a senior in high school. And is it true you scored 52 points in your final high school game?
Yeah, that's right.
Was that so? You were always the scorer growing up. Was that always your role?
Yeah, I can always score the ball, but it started picking up like heavy late in my career. So probably about ninth grade. That's when it got crazy.
Do you have a 52-point game in you in college? You think?
Um, you never know.
You never know. Not if coach won't like it if it takes you 40 shots to get there.
Yeah.
All right. So how far back when you in the recruiting process? How far back were you aware of Robert Morris? Were you on their radar when they beat Kentucky in the NIT?
No, I didn't get on their radar till my senior year, the beginning of the middle of my senior year. So about January of my senior year, that's when they started talking to me.
So what did you learn when you started researching? What did you learn about Robert Morris? What attracted you to the school?
That they beat some high major teams. They always competing for their league championship. Things like that.
So you joined a team that lost the NEC Player of the Year in Carvel Anderson. Did you see that when you were being recruited as an opportunity at that shooting guard spot?
Yeah, absolutely. I knew they was going to need a scorer, and me coming out of high school, I knew I was going to be able to score the ball.
So let's talk a little bit about the Colonials this season. 7-3, just one game out of first place, in a pretty good spot. What does the team need to do better to challenge for the NEC title?
We just got to come out playing the same every night. We be having some off nights when we not as consistent as we should be. So if our consistency pick up, we should be able to win by ease because we got the talent.
So you said there's talent. I want to ask you about a couple guys on the team, get your thoughts. Tell me a little bit about Lucky Jones. Has he served as a mentor to you and the other newcomers on the team?
Yeah, absolutely. He be preaching to us about what it takes to win because he know how I feel to lose. So he just tried to give us all the right credibility for us to win. So he a good all-around person. He got an all-around game. He rebound, he score, he pass, he make hustle plays. He just do it. I do it all, guy.
Does he tell you guys about the history of the program and the high expectations here at RMU?
Yes, absolutely. He let us know what it takes, and he been here for 4 years. So if he don't know, then who else gonna know?
What about you got a point guard, Kayvon Stewart. Do you feel like you've developed a chemistry now with him? Is he learned where you like to get the ball, what spots?
Yeah, we built up a good chemistry, especially from when I first got here. Like me and him, we got real close now on and off the court. So just playing with him on the court is just that much better.
Rodney Pryor's another newcomer. Has had a pretty amazing season, had some huge games. I think he just makes it look so like effortless on the court. He's pretty smooth. What's it like playing with Rodney?
Rodney is amazing playing with him, but you can look up to somebody that plays just like you. Like me and him has to have the same exact game, and to have somebody on your team that can score like you, that's a good. That keeps the defense wondering like who they got to guard because they got to guard. They can't guard all of us.
How does it feel when you guys playing in front of a packed house at the Chuck and the crazies are out in full force? How does that make you feel as a player?
That's exciting. That's all a kid live for, to play in front of big crowds. Well, I know for me, I like playing in front of big crowds.
All right, well, there's been some big crowds the last couple of years. Hopefully, if you get to host a playoff game there. I want to switch gears quickly here. So you told me that you're majoring in cyber forensics. Tell me what was the decision to go down that path?
Well, I always liked computers growing up, and then I just looked into it in the computer information field, then the cybersecurity field, and then I just saw the cyber forensics. So I just want to deal with stuff like that, like credit card thefts, and down that road.
So is the game plan? I know it's early. You're just a freshman. Is the game plan down the line to play professionally and then move on to your post playing career?
Yes, absolutely. That's my #1 goal right there.
Give me something that people would find surprising about you. A hobby. What is it? Something off the court. What do we not know about Marcquise Reed? I want to break something here.
I like tennis shoes and I like video games, especially Call of Duty.
All right. What makes Robert Morris a great university?
Just the people here, they show so much love. Like, everybody's friendly. So, like, the school is just a good place to be at.
There it goes. I hope the Robert Morris marketing folks get to see that. That was a good commercial for your school right there. Marquise, all right, I'm going to wrap things up here. You can watch Marquise and the Colonials this week. They're headed out, well, East Coast. They're headed out to Brooklyn, playing LIU Brooklyn on Thursday night, 7 o'clock on NEC Front Row. Then they're at FDU Saturday, 4:30, NEC Front Row. You can see Marquise and Lucky and the rest of the Colonials as they're making a push for first place in the conference. Hey, Marquise, thanks for joining me. Best of luck. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. You too.
All right, today's Google Hangout was brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes or more could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com. We'll see you next week with our next edition of the men's basketball Geico Google Hangout.